Hello, lovelies. Welcome to Nut Free Formula. My name's Freedom. Thank you for joining me. In tonight's episode, I wanted to talk about whether or not you should write a Dear John letter, so a letter of farewell to the narcissist. A lot of people seem to think that that might be a good idea, but I'm here to tell you I don't think it's a very good idea at all. However, before I get into it, can I just remind you, if you're liking my videos, please remember to like them, subscribe to the channel, and to help me grow the channel, please share the video widely on other social media platforms. All right, let's get down to it. I've got some notes. So, look, it doesn't matter whether or not he's contacted you or you're feeling like you want to talk to the narcissist. It's still a bad idea, no matter what. And there's usually kind of a few main reasons. I think there's like 3 main reasons that we kind of want to contact them. The first one would be thinking of, kind of closure, wanting to finish it all off. Obviously you loved each other once. Well, rephrase, you loved him. Normal people, we'll put it this way, normal people often write each other these kind of letters to give each other closure, to allow each other to move on. And it's a way of, I suppose, acknowledging the time spent, the effort put in, the love, the time, all of that stuff that you take and put into a relationship to make it work. And as I said, a normal person can acknowledge that, whereas a narcissist, due to their object constancy, cannot. In their mind, the fact that you have separated means that everything you ever have was shit. That's literally how they think now. Unless, of course, they're trying to hoover you back, and then they just, they re-idolize you, and you're back to being the woman of their dreams. So with the closure kind of concept, you've got to understand that the narcissist isn't going to give you closure. They will deliberately misinterpret or misunderstand what you're saying, or they will take it the wrong way. So if you were thinking, for example, you were just going to write a Dear John, thank you for all the good times. Sorry about the bad times. Have a good life. The kind of, most people receiving that would, I suppose, want to either to say, yep, thanks very much, same to you, and whatever. Whereas a narcissist would actually use that as the initiating a new conversation. So they would be like, what did you mean by that? What did you mean when you said blah, 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 or whatever? I mean, they don't really care what you meant, but they will use any communication on your behalf as a way to reintroduce themselves back into the situationship. So if you've got no contact and you send a Dear John letter, you've just hoovered yourself. You've allowed them an opportunity to get a foot in the back door again, and that's something you don't want. So the second reason that we will often, send these letters is, to say goodbye, to literally, to just let them know, like, it's really over, like we're really done here. There's nothing more to say other than goodbye. Once again, he is not going to give you a get out of jail free card. That is not what this is about. All that he will do is use it to reinitiate contact with you. Or there's another bit, but I'll save that for a second. The third reason that we may think that we should contact them is to apologize, because often, especially as empaths, we tend to take on a lot of responsibility. In fact, probably too much responsibility. And we take on what's gone wrong as being our fault. and or just because we're normal human beings and we care and we're compassionate. There's a lot of reasons why someone would want to apologize to a loved one, because we don't want to hurt people. Unlike the narcissist, we do not want to hurt people, and it hurts us when the people we love are hurt. So, it might be in us to want to apologize to them. But the thing that you have to understand is, this is not just a no, don't do it. This is a God, no, don't do it. You will never hear the end of it. I mean, don't think for 1 second they're just going to let you apologize and then accept your apology. No, no, no. What they're going to do is use that opportunity to drag you over the coals, to make you confess to every wrongdoing you've ever done. They're going to try and make you feel really, really bad. They're going to try and harvest some of that fuel, so making you feel bad and guilty and upset and emotional. That's all part of this. And, they love playing the victim. So you apologizing, even for, anything, the slightest thing, allows them the opportunity to project all of their own inner guilt onto you. And they will. Everything they've done wrong to you, they will then project that onto you. I mean, if you're in the position where you are of apologizing, I mean, why not? Why not just, give you all of their guilt as well? You can apologize for that as well. So they're going to blame you for everything that's gone wrong. They're going to project everything onto you, and it, like I said, it perpetuates this constant state of victimhood within them, which is quite unbearable at the best of times, let alone when you encourage them by apologizing. So please do not apologize. In the situation of all three of these desires to communicate, you need to understand that communication is not just you saying something to someone. Communication is you saying it, them hearing it, them interpreting it and understanding it, and them making sense of it. A narcissist is not going to read anything that you write in the way you wrote it. They're going to put some, smarmy little voice on. They're going to make it all, like I said, they're projecting their own kind of nastiness. So, you're genuine. You may have genuine emotions that you're sharing with them. They will ridicule those emotions. They will, they'll undermine them. They will pick fault in anything you've got to say. And more than anything, they're just going to use it as a way to re-engage. Or if you're thinking of sending them a letter, I just want you to think of this. There's two kind of scenarios that will probably go down. One is he will read it and screw it up and throw it away. Or two, if there's new supply on the scene, he will use that letter to show her. So just visualize that, him and the new supplier having a little laugh over your letter. And that's what he'll do. Often these blokes will go to the extreme of writing letters to us, writing text messages to us. And then when we respond, they will delete their message and go and show the new supplier and say, look at this, she's contacting me again. She just can't get over me. She loves me so much still. Oh, it's a pity she didn't treat me better when she had me. This is the kind of thing they will do. They will use any communication on your behalf to triangulate the new supply, to keep her on her toes, to let her know that, if she doesn't act right, there's someone waiting in the wings to become the missus again. It's really, really sad. But at the end of the day, there is no real communication with the narcissist. There never was when you're in a relationship with them, and there's never going to be. They're not going to change just because you've separated. They're not going to all of a sudden become, open-hearted or, compassionate or caring. They're not going to listen to your heartfelt pleas or your emotion, with compassion. They're going to laugh at you. It's going to be their moment where they feel good about themselves, where they feel like they've got one up on you. Because how pathetic are you writing a letter to them after the way they treated you? Have a think about that, because that's what they're thinking about. They're like in their mind, she still wants me. Even after how badly I treated her, she still wants me. And that's how deluded they are. I mean, that's the reality. These blokes are not playing with the full deck. They're delusional. Okay, they are, as I've said before, maladapted, and dysfunctional. Dysfunctional. Is that a word? Oh my God, I probably shouldn't do videos at this time of night. I tend to make up words. I think dysfunctional is a word. Yes, it is. Just didn't sound right. So yeah, they're dysfunctional. As they're maladapted, they they have the capacity to twist something that you would think is such a genuine and sweet gesture. An ex-partner or ex-lover writing a letter, saying goodbye, laying it all on the table. But in actual fact, all it does for them is fuels them. It gives them an idea of what's going on in your head. And that's another thing, just quickly. You don't want them knowing what's going on with you, because the more they know, the more dangerous they are. So just bear that in mind, and just always remember that these blokes are dangerous. Like, they really are dangerous. And if you stop and actually really take the rose-tinted glasses off and have a little think without the rose-tinted glasses, like have a little trip down memory lane without your rose-tinted glasses on, and ask yourself, do you really want to write them a letter and, apologizing or, asking for closure? Like, they're never going to validate you. They're never going to tell you the things that you need to hear. Okay? They're never, ever going to say, yep, you did a good job, you tried. They're never going to say those things to you. All they're going to reinforce is that you failed, you let them down, you did something wrong somewhere along the line, you weren't good enough. You should have tried harder. I mean, it was a rigged game from the start, and that's something you always need to remember with these guys. It was a rigged game from the start. There was no way of winning it. They knew it. You didn't know it. They kept saying, oh, you can win if you just keep trying this, or if you just do this or that. None of it was true. There was no way of winning. These guys, they have a program of behavior, a pattern of behavior that they live by, and that is the reality. There has been women before you, there'll be women after you, and they'll all go through the same patterns of behavior with these blokes. So save your pen, save your paper, or save your thumbs in sending a text message. Just nothing. No goodbye letter. If you're leaving, leave. Don't give them the opportunity to find out when you're leaving, how you're leaving, where you're going. All that's going to do is give them the opportunity to stop you. I mean, I've heard some horror stories just recently of one poor woman who made the huge mistake of trying to tell him that she was leaving, and only to witness him then turn around and start punching himself in the head, and then call the police and say that she had beaten him after he punched himself 20 times or so in the head, and it was all black-eyed and bloody. And tried to get her arrested. I mean, this is the kind of thing. You don't realize how dangerous these guys are until you try and get away from them. So don't be telling them when you're leaving, how you're leaving, what you're doing. And if you've gotten out, and you're dealing with unresolved, feelings, emotions, whatever, go and speak to a counselor, go and speak to a friend, go and speak to anyone, but not the narcissist. You won't get closure. You won't get validation. You won't get understanding or compassion. It's not going to make you feel good. You're not going to come away from it going, oh, gee, I'm so glad I did that. I mean, you will come away from it going, God damn it, why did I even bother? And that brings you a step closer each time to healing. But, it's a frustrating and painful way to heal, I suppose. In a perfect world, we would learn hard and fast the lessons. We would learn to go no contact and stay no contact, because that is truly the only way that you're going to heal. Once you have them out of your head, and their logic and the way they think and their manipulation and their control, once all of that is no longer around you, you'll have so much more clarity and vision and understanding. It'll be a whole new world, my darling, is what I'm trying to say. A whole new world. And you won't need them to tell you that it's okay. You won't need them to tell you that they forgive you, because they're never going to forgive you. Doesn't matter if you forgive them. They will never forgive you. They might say they will. They might pretend they do. They will never forgive you. And given half the chance, they will punish you until the day you die for everything you ever did wrong. So just remember that, okay? When you're giving them, any opportunity to talk to you, you're allowing them a foot in the back door. And when they get a foot in the back door, that gives them the opportunity to hoover you and to re-engage with you. And as I said, then before you know it, you're doing NARC times 2, NARC 2.0. Waste another 10 years of your life. Waste another 30 years of your life. I mean, my God, the outcome's always going to be the same. All right, lovelies, thank you for watching. And yes, if you're thinking about sending that letter to them, don't do it. Don't do it. All right, good night, darlings.